Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, the 2023 movie. You know what? I'll be back. I'm gonna go watch the movie again. I'll be back. You know, the movie was just too great of a movie. I just have to go watch it again. It's just amazing. Just amazing. Just amazing. So yeah, Across the Spider-Verse. It's just that great of a movie. It's amazing. And on this episode movie breakdown, we're going to talk about it, but you know how it is. The newest movie, the first half is non-spoiler, the back half is going to be spoiler. Now, let's go ahead and get into this movie breakdown episode 2023's Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. And what is movie breakdowns? It's a movie review series looking new at old movies, give them a grade A through L plus minus do count. And if the review you want me to do, let me know. Please put in the comment section below. I get to it as best I can. I also have that Patreon/AliZaka for $2 a month. You get your review out way before it comes out on Facebook and YouTube. Get it cut in front of everybody for my movie review, and whatever you request, I do it. Now, let's go ahead and get into it. So what is Across the Spider-Verse about? Was the sequel to Into the Spider-Verse. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which is, some people argue, is one of the best animated films out there. And they say it's one of the best. Spider-Man is not the best Spider-Man movie out there. Like, it's a good work. Well, Across the Spider-Verse, we return back to Miles Morales, who he is now Spider-Man. He is now Spider-Man. He owns the mantle. And he just pretty much living his life as Spider-Man, but also kind of having a little conflict with his parents. But now a new threat has appeared that could cause him to make the decision to save somebody that's close to him or save the universe, and he has to make that choice. And as he's struggling with this choice, other Spider-Man, like Spider-Man 2099, I believe, that's Oscar Isaac Spider-Man, he is trying to stop Miles Morales from making the decision that could possibly destroy the universe, and that is Across the Spider-Verse in a nutshell. IMDb puts it this way: Miles Morales catapults across the multiverse, where he encounters a team of spider people charged with protecting its very existence. When the heroes clash on how to handle a new threat, Miles must redefine what it means to be a hero. That's their version. My version is just simple. Miles has the opportunity to stay between, you know, somebody gets close to him or the universe, and he must figure out what it means to do that. And his options might not mesh with the rest of the Spider folks in the movie. And this was all in the trailer. The things that I like, the voice acting. I mean, the voice acting in this movie is so good. I mean, the actors and actresses are in this movie are putting 110% in. There's a scene where Haley Stanfield, she goes in, and you almost believe that, like, Gwen Stacy, Haley is Gwen Stacy, and the way she's having these emotions, and you can hear in her voice, and also in Shameik Moore's voice, you can hear in his voice too when he's stepping up as Miles Morales. Miles Morales has to say something, you're like, oh my gosh, so much conviction behind these characters. Miles Morales is a cool Spider-Man. That's another thing I love. The dude is awesome. Like, I didn't really care about him in the comic books. I remember hearing about him years ago, and then watching Into the Spider-Verse kind of got me like a little bit behind him, and then Across the Spider-Verse, I'm a full-fledged Miles Morales fan. Like, the dude is awesome. And his journey and what he's standing up for and what he's going through, I love his story. I love Haley's Atwell, or Atwell, not Atwell, but Steinfeld's story where it comes to Gwen Stacy. And for a moment, this movie made me want a Gwen Stacy movie. I want to see a Gwen Stacy video game now too. I want this. I want a Spider-Gwen. Once again, somebody I never thought I would care about, but this movie, the writing in this movie makes you care about these characters so much, where you're like, man, it'd be dope to have their own movie. Man, it'd be cool to see more of this character. Oh man, I can't wait to see them to get together and all the tension between them. This movie, in the perspective of Gwen Stacy and Miles Morales, is solid, and there's some good writing for these characters. The voice acting delivers on that, and the animation. This movie is a great looking movie, from the colorations, from the different templates, from different water styles, from like water pastels to watercolor, to just the different, like, every design in this movie. It just works. And there's a lot of, and maybe because the first one people took scenes from those movies and put it like cell phone screens or wallpapers. Heck, I have, you know, Into the Spider-Verse right here. Across the Spider-Verse has a lot of scenes where it will pan out and you can see the whole world. You pan out and you see the whole, landscape where the people are looking at. And like, for example, it's in the trailer where Miles Morales and Gwen Stacy are sitting upside down. They're sitting next to each other. Well, before that is a scene where it shows, and you have to pay attention to the characters too. If you lose the characters, you forget that they moved. So it will pan out. You see the whole city of New York as Miles is like sitting underneath, like he's moving around and sitting underneath next to Gwen. I just thought that was cool. I thought the visuals in this movie is cool. But one thing about the animation that makes this movie so great is the emotions of the characters. Like, you can see when they're like having tension and anxiety and pressure, and you can see it in their face. You can see when their emotions are bottled up and they're like, no, and then it's conviction. Or like, you can see when they're stone cold and like, you know what, do what you gotta do. I gotta make this plan happen. I'm about to do this. Like, no back down. You can see it all. And once again, there's a Gwen Stacy scene in this movie that is so good. Oh man, it is really good. From voice acting to animation is one, and the music score in this movie is phenomenal. It's a solid music score. I've listened to the music score on my way home. I listened to the music score while getting ready for this review. It is, I mean, the OST, not like the licensed music that's in this movie, that's also hits very well, but the regular just movie score, solid. Like when you listen to He's a Pirate by Hans Zimmer, you'll get the same kind of thing when it comes to this movie, that I will be playing some of these songs throughout like my week. It's solid. I mean, the movie is what, 2 hours and 20 minutes, and there was a part where it about to feel like it was gonna be a longer movie than that. And I remember thinking like, and I guess it's my one dislike, I just remember thinking like, man, they really got us in here and we're about to keep going. And you know what, to be honest, I could have kept going. It's probably one of the first time where I watched a movie where I was like, give me another 20 minutes. Give me another 30 minutes. Let's finish this bad boy. But the movie just keeps going. Like, it could have kept going and it didn't. And like, I was like, okay, it's a good wrap up here. But at the same time, I wanted more. Like, I wanted more. And I felt like we could have got more. But you know what? That's a good mark. It's a mark of a good movie when it delivers and you know all around. I can't think of a negative thing to say about this movie. I can't think of a negative thing to say about this movie. I would love to say the length, but then again, I forgot. I didn't know I was in the movie for 2 hours. I didn't know I was in the movie for 2 hours. I don't have a negative thing. I got everything I wanted. There's cameos in this movie left and right, so be prepared for that. It's another multiverse movie, and I will talk more about that in the spoilers. Let's go ahead and get into the cast details and everything. I don't have anything negative to say about this movie. So, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is PG, rated PG, 2 hours and 20 minutes long. It is directed by Joaquin Dos Santos, Kemp Powers, and Justin K. Thompson. Writers are Phil Lord, Christopher Miller, and Dave Callaham. And the budget for this movie estimately is $150 million, and so far we don't know what it's doing worldwide because the movie just came out this weekend. The cast, you have Shameik Moore, who plays Miles Morales. Great voice acting, just solid voice acting, good across the board, like phenomenal work. I love his voice as Miles Morales. They almost make you want to see a live action Miles Morales. The way this dude plays Miles Morales is so good. Haley Steinfeld as Gwen Stacy. Great work for her. Matter of fact, I guess I can get a little character divergence on these two characters right now. So Miles Morales, he is more confident in himself. He's not the little scared little boy who didn't know whether or not he can be Spider-Man. Like, the dude is like, I am Spider-Man. I am strong. I experienced it before. And really, he wants his friends. He wants to be around people that he feels safe with and feel like they understand him. And when he gets to see all the Spider folks, he's like, oh my gosh, we don't know the world with people around us. And then on the flip side, Gwen Stacy wants the same thing. So, into the Spider-Verse, when Gwen and Miles Morales try to get that, and they had a little spark where you can see, Miles kind of like crushing on Gwen, and Gwen kind of like, crushing on Miles a little bit. Well, they both experience that, and they want to experience each other more, but they can't do it because they're in two different universes. And Gwen feel like she's alone, and nobody else can understand her. but really is not really. But Miles is the only one who can understand her, and she kind of feel like she's far apart from him. So I like how they both had the same story. Like, we want to be our friends, we want to protect each other, we want to be close to each other, and that does play a little more in the movie too. I just love like their two characters are confident in each other, and Gwen's more like, I want to protect everything that's close to me, and Miles Morales is like, I'm confident I can handle everything to save everything that's close to me. Oscar Isaac as Miguel O'Hara, who is Spider-Man, I want to say 2099. Oscar Isaac is menacing. I feel like he's a good villain when he does that villain role. Besides Apocalypse, he is solid. Like, he is threatening, menacing. His voice delivers in that way where you're like, oh man, this dude is terrifying. And he's going 110%. Like, I can see if this is a live action movie, I'll be all for this, because I feel like this movie could deliver on that. This cast could deliver in live action, because good Lord, like, Oscar Isaac's voice, solid. Jake Johnson, who played Peter B. Parker. I did not know that's the guy from New Girl. But Jake Johnson, who played Peter B. Parker, he's good. Like, he came back in the movie. He's in the trailer. New Girl, I just double checked that. He's in the trailer. Just what you experienced him from the first movie. Same cool dude who has more confidence in himself now. He has a baby, so he's a little more. And he has, MJ back, so he's about himself again, not down in the dumps. And Miles Morales helped get him out of that in the first movie, and he's kind of back to kind of be like, I got your back, kid. Issa Rae, who plays Spider-Woman, she was cool. She was a cool design character. Like, it was cool seeing her in this movie and have a different Spider-Woman in this movie. I was about it. She has some strong parts, like some good parts. I don't say strong, but good parts in this movie. And she was good. She was good for what she did. Brian Tyree Henry, who played Jefferson Davis, who is Miles' father. Like, good character, strong work there. And also the tension between Miles and his father in the first movie, that tension between Miles and his parents is still there. But the whole Spider-Man working with, the chief, the captain, not captain, but the lieutenant of the police force, which is Mr. Davis, that's stronger in this movie, and it adds some good dynamics to the movie. Good voice acting from Brian Tyree Henry to give Mr. Davis, that character that he was in the first one. He's still that same dad that was in the first one and the second one. And then Rio Morales, who was played by Luna Lauren Velez. She is Miles' mom, and she actually has a bigger role in this movie than she did in the first movie, and she's more of a voice for Miles Morales in this movie as well. And what I heard, a lot of things wouldn't be pushed forward in this movie without Miles' mom and dad in this movie. So they do play a good part in this movie, and some good work by them too. Trying to think. Any other thoughts? The music I guess about is good. Some good music in this movie. The animation artwork is top notch. Probably one of the best animated films of the year. This movie deserved an Oscar, if not the best animated film that come out in this 2023 for Oscars. Is this a Friday night movie? Yes, this is a Friday movie. Go watch it. Go watch it in theaters. I literally gonna watch it again. I feel like I'm about to go watch it again. Ask me in 2 weeks what I'm doing, and I'll probably say the movie 3 times. I don't know. This is a good word. And grading time. I'm gonna grade Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. I'm gonna give this movie an A+. This movie is just that good. It is A+. I really don't have a negative thing to say about the movie. Like, I wanted the movie to be longer. IMDb gives this movie a 9.1 out of 10. That is an A or A-. And Rotten Tomatoes gives this movie a 95%. That's an A. And the audience gives this movie a 96%. That's an A. So this is one of the first times we're all on the same page. Rotten Tomatoes, myself, IMDb, we're all there in the A range, from A- to A+. This movie is just that phenomenal. I am gonna watch it again. It's some good work. If you've seen Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, what did you think? Please put in the comment section below. If you want to stick around for the spoilers, let's stick around. Let's talk some spoilers in 3, 2, 1. Spoiler time. So this movie is actually a part 1 of another movie. This movie has like, it's a cliffhanger. It drops off. So when I said the movie could have been longer, I want another 30 minutes of this movie. I'm curious to see what the next 2 hours are gonna be because they extended this movie. Did not expect it to happen. It is wild, like that this movie ended the way it did. I was shocked. Me and a few other people in the theater was shocked. I think everybody was shocked. We're like, what? It said to be continued as the movie ended off with Gwen Stacy like, let's go find Miles, let's go get Miles Morales. And the movie ends. You're like, holy crap, there's gonna be a third movie? And it tells you there's gonna be a third movie. Oh man, I truly hope the third one brings in, you know, Todd, oh, what's his name? His name right there. The MCU Spider-Man and Tom Holland, and bring in Andrew Garfield, and bring in Tobey Maguire from their collective universes, because Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man cameos are in this movie. Their cameos are in this movie. Venom's character, I should say, has a cameo in this movie. Not Venom, the character himself, but somebody from the Venom universe is in this movie. This movie has different universes and multiverse all over again. They talk about, you know, Tom Holland, Doctor Strange in the trailer, and he's actually like the repercussions of that and all the events that transpired from the Into the Spider-Verse because of that collider pretty much created pockets in other universes where this guy named Spots, who was created by Miles Morales in a sense, because Miles threw a bagel at him in the first movie, completely throwaway scene. You watch that scene, they're escaping, complete bagel toss. But apparently, I love good writing. It's like freaking One Piece, man. When the writers bring something out of nowhere, like that side character in the corner is not a side character anymore. He's actually a villain who just happened to get struck by the collider, got turned to Spots, and he can jump between portals. As he kept using his powers, he realized he can jump into portals. And he's like Miles Morales' arch nemesis. So the villain in this movie really wants to just find a way to be Miles Morales' equal and give him the battle of a lifetime, but he's gonna take everything from Miles Morales, which means he'll kill his dad. So all the other Spider-Mans have this tragic story where Gwen Stacy's father died, and Miguel was telling Spider-Man or telling Miles Morales, your father has to die for this to happen. So for us to continue our timeline for everything goes to canon, you can't break the canon, and you already broke the canon by you killing yours Peter Parker in your world. Now you broke the canon. So by doing this, you put your world in danger. So they're saying by Miles Morales being existent put his world in danger, but in reality it didn't. All of a sudden, Spot shows up, hopping to different timelines or different universes, and Miles Morales follows him to another universe. And there was a moment where I looked at this when I remember seeing it. I was like, that's it, canon moment? It was like, yeah, a canon moment. So Spider-Man India, he was supposed to lose his version of Gwen's father, Captain. And Miles Morales saved that Captain, so therefore he doesn't die, and that's caused his universe, the Spider-Man India's universe, to start to implode on itself. But they stopped it for the moment. Well, Miguel's like, hey, Morales, you gotta let your father die, or your universe is gonna face the same threat that my universe faced and somebody else's universe about to face. You have to let your father die. And Miles like, no, I'm about to do this. We're not letting my father die. And they're like, all right, we won't stop you then. So they fight. You know, Miles Morales get through everybody, and he finally gets back home, but he thinks he's got home. In reality, he didn't get home. Where he went is to the universe of the Spider 42 that bit him. He went to that Spider-Man's universe where that Spider-Man doesn't exist because that Spider got put into Miles Morales' universe. So this whole story is, holy crap, it's like One Piece. It's such good writing. The Spider was teleported into the Spider-Verse universe and Miles Morales universe from the events of this. This movie could be a loop, guys. So there will be a third one, Beyond the Spider-Verse, and it could be a loop. It could be a loop. It could be the events that trigger, because Miles Morales go to a universe that doesn't have a Spider-Man, and Miles Morales actually becomes the Prowler, and he's about to face off with himself. So Miles has to fight himself like some freaking good old Lion King or Black Panther, where you have Killmonger versus Black Panther. You're about to get that version of this where the Prowler versus Spider-Man, which is Miles Morales versus Miles Morales in 2 different universes. Oh my gosh, this is some good stuff, but that spider had to get to Miles' universe because he got teleported there. And it's because it believes it's a collider, but that collider happened. Well, Gwen got tossed a week before, so maybe the spider did get tossed at the right time and got tossed a week before, so maybe Kingpin did cause it. I don't know, that means you start speculating. But anyway, the movie ends with Gwen and the other Spider team has to go into Spider-Man or Miles Morales' universe that doesn't have a Spider-Man to save him because he's not in his universe. And that's how the movie ends, on this cliffhanger, which is like crazy. It's a lot of stuff. When Spider-Man tried to go back, Miles Morales, to say, tried to go back and save his father. That's why he went back to his home world, but he thought he went back to his home world. In reality, he went to another home world. Now, one pet peeve I do have with Spider-Man is, and Miles Morales specifically, is him not telling his mom and dad that he is Spider-Man. In the movie, he finally decided to make that truth and tell his mom that he was Spider-Man. She's like, who's Spider-Man? And he's like, what are you talking about? I'm a superhero. She's like, what are you talking about, Miles? And he's like, what? Well, she told the wrong he told the wrong mom. He told the Prowler's mom. But in his universe, he hasn't told his mom and dad that he's Spider-Man. They keep getting mad at him. But he just revealed to them that, hey, look at me, I'm Spider-Man. I'm the guy. I feel like they'll let off of him a little bit. His dad might be kind of terrified, but he'll make like it'd be making sense why him and Spider-Man work together so well. But his mom be like, okay, cool. So Gwen does have a moment where Gwen actually talks to his mom and dad, because early in the movie, Gwen and Miles end up meeting with each other, like you see in the trailer. Well, they go back to the party that it was for Jefferson's like inauguration to become captain, or celebration to become captain, get promoted to captain. So they go back to the party, and Rio and Jefferson sees Gwen and Miles getting together, and they're like, oh, okay. Or Rio, his mom and Mrs. Morales see them getting together, like, oh, okay. So her son on run off with a girl, 15-year-old boy run off with ain't Gwen like a year older, so 16-year-old. So hey, look at him, look at her. But so the thing is, the girl's the reason why he's doing all this stuff. In reality, she shows up in his room, tells him like, hey, I'm gonna go get your son. You know, he loves you guys both. They haven't put two together. Why is she in their room? She has this outfit, and she didn't reveal to them that, heck, I am, you know, your I'm Spider-Girl, and your son's Spider-Man. Like, there's nothing about that they didn't say yet. So we'll probably get that in the next movie, which I'm looking forward to. I cannot stand that trope. Stop being afraid to tell your loved ones that who you are and keep that a secret. Because, like, you tell them, they can stay out the way. If you tell, like, you know, all the villains, of course they'll come after you. But you tell your loved one, keep it a secret. Do not tell anybody. They're going to get out the way and they won't be in danger. I don't understand the whole story. I can't tell them, put them in danger. No, and I think this movie's not even about the danger part. I think it's more like, will they trust me? And Gwen Stacy had that issue with her dad, who had been in a role of police officer still, not being her father. And then he goes into the mode of, I quit, I love you, Gwen, and I can't do that while you're Spider-Gwen. I'm going to be behind you and got your back. And there's a very emotional scene between Gwen and her father that was so good. I mean, that scene was so powerful, and the music behind it, my God. Good work. And then the scene with Miles Morales and Miguel when they're fighting on the spaceship, and they're fighting to go up in space, and he's telling them all this stuff. He's like, I got them out of here. I did make a plan. And he's like, I'm Miles Morales. I am Miles Morales. I am who I am. And nobody can take that from me. And he has this moment, and he speaks to him like, my God, it's so powerful. So powerful. The movie does end on a bad note for Gwen and Miles Morales, because Miles believed that all the Spider-Man is there to stop him and trap him. They knew the game plan. They didn't tell him. And Gwen, if she said she would have avoided seeing Miles, but she loves Miles, so she wanted to talk to him. If she would have avoided seeing Miles, he wouldn't be sucked into this. But Miles wanted to see his friend, but he realized if he came with them, he would be the truth. When he found the truth about his dad, they would have to apprehend him, which they try to do, and Miles is just that good, that powerful with Spider-Man not to get beaten by them. Just good work, good spoilers. Spider-Man the MCU Homecoming, Donnie Glover, he's in this movie as a Prowler. He talks about his, his nephew living around here and doing this. Well, he actually does turn into the Prowler, and he's in the movie trapped in a time zone. So the Prowler does exist in Tom Holland's universe. Now, is it Miles Morales there? We'll find out, hopefully. But you know what? This movie's some good stuff, good work. I love this movie already. And I'm probably am going to go see it at least 2 more times. 2 more times. All right, there's no spoilers for me. I don't think I have anything else to spoil. Ben Reilly's in this movie, but you see him in the trailer, like, there's so many Spider-Mans in this movie that you can point out from different iterations of Spider-Man for over the years, from the TV shows, from Spider-Man Unlimited, from the Amazing Spider-Man, Spectacular Spider-Man. There's so many different versions. Like, it's ridiculous. It's hilarious at certain spots. Good work. Spider-Punk is in this movie, but the Prowlers comes back. This movie has a lot, and it's just that good. Just that good. Believe the hype. Believe the hype. So go watch Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Enjoy the movie. Have a good time. And yeah, man, I'm looking forward to the 3rd one. I'm already on board. I'm ready for this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Thank you guys for watching the episode of Movie Breakdowns, and keep being awesome. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. I really appreciate that. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. If there's a review you want me to watch or do, let me know. Please put it in the comment section below this video. Also, you want to watch the last episode of Movie Breakdowns, it's right there. Just gotta click on it and you'll be able to watch it. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Love y'all, and keep being awesome.